religious community on the promises we make about how we respect and treat each other, rather than on the uniformity of belief. As a non-creedal community, we honor religious wisdom and truth wherever we find it, in the great religious traditions of the world and in our own hearts. When we grieve, we use our memorial services as occasions to celebrate the life of our loved one, rather than as an occasion for a proclamation of faith. After all, a life well lived is a great testament of faith. We honor the fact that each of us here has brought our own spiritual and religious understandings of the mysteries of life and death, and we'll find consolation in those understandings as we work our way through our loss. We know very well that death is an inevitable part of our lives. We know as we learn to love one another that eventually our love will include loss and grief. Because no matter how lucky we are in our lives, no matter how long we live, saying goodbye will come to each of us. All our knowing doesn't make it any easier. The final farewells always come as a loss for which we feel ourselves unprepared. Being human, we rage against the dying of the light, as Dillis Thomas writes. Do not be perplexed if you are feeling that rage or other emotions now. Be present to them, accept them. They are doors into life's deeper understandings. So let us gather this day, summoned by respect and affection, to demonstrate our love for both the living and the dead. We gather to comfort one another, for we have suffered a great loss. We gather to celebrate together, for we have been blessed by a life well lived. With love and gratitude we gather. May peace pervade this space today and the hearts of all who gather herein. Let us invoke the spirit of love and life in which we live, move, and have our being to be with us in this hour as we give thanks for Kay's life. I will now invite Stephanie to come up to light our chalice and Karen to come up to recite our covenant.
Please stand and join me as you are able, and we will read our covenant on the wall. Love is the spirit of His church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kay's brother John, and I'm going to start out with just some milestones of her life, talk about things she loved. Later on, I'll tell you the story of how she became a doctor. I'm 2 years younger than her, but we did, in the beginning, both of us went to St. Benedict Grade School, Blanchette High School, and Seattle University. And we lived in an old house on one of the busiest streets in Seattle, surrounded by Catholics. So anyway, Kay moved on to get a master's in social work at University of Texas at Austin. She got a doctorate of medicine degree at Case Western Reserve in Cleveland. She was a resident in internal medicine at Mount Sinai, Cleveland, board certified in internal medicine. and she retired from medicine in 2013. And just to show that she wasn't afraid to step out a little bit, she went skydiving at age 69 and got scuba certified at 70. The things she loved to do, she loved dancing. And I remember her and her friends dancing in the living room. They actually used to dance in the car doing something called the shimmy, which I never fully appreciated, I guess. And she loved ballroom dancing, and she was really hoping to get better to go ballroom dancing with Chuck Hansen. So she liked singing, gardening, cooking, travel, experiencing new cuisine, public speaking, her family, and practicing medicine. Her friend Suzanne O'Shea told us about two groups that Kay was in, a kind of study and presentation groups. First one was called the Salon, which started during COVID via Zoom. They studied topics about history of corporations, economics, capitalism, modern monetary theory, and another committee, Great Decisions at Mid-North Shepherd Center, which I think is like a senior citizen group. And I was glad to know this because there was a point in time there where she started sending me emails, a lot of emails, and they were all about things I wasn't interested in at all. And she would call me up and ask me what I thought. And me being a Tawney, I would say I wasn't interested in them. My goodness. I got a lecture about that one. The turning point in her life was a diagnosis of cancer in 2017. She actually, on this day a year ago, she got a diagnosis that her cancer had returned, and it ended up taking her own life. She wrote a little story. One of the things none of us knew was her journey to being a doctor. So I asked her to write it out, and I'm just going to read some of it in her own words. I thought about what I wanted to do to be or do in my second and third year of college. I mulled over teaching, social work, nursing, and being a doctor. At that time, women didn't go to medical school. I knew one woman who was in medical school, but she dropped out. She was a straight-A student, and I was not. Then I found out that her family was not supportive of her, and the people in the classes made fun of her, so she quit. I went to social work school in Austin while Jeff worked on his PhD. I was in grad school in the mid-'60s, I think. After Texas and Washington, D.C., we moved to Cleveland. Jeff was teaching at Cleveland State. Jeff is her first husband. And I worked as the head of a drop-in center for adolescents. After that, I worked as a psychiatrist, seeing patients in his private practice. One day he asked me why I didn't go to medical school, and I thought it would make a good doctor. I cried for a week and then decided that I would try for medical school. Better to try and fail than die without having tried. So I went to a nearby college, took pre-med courses, and in about 1983 I applied, took the test, and was accepted. And she mentions a fellow named Dean Horrigan, who was, I think, someone who encouraged her. He thought that medicine needed not just the young science types, but also those with life experience. So at 39, I started medical school. I was the oldest person in my class by 2 weeks. By then, women were being admitted to medical school, and my class was 50% women. I graduated in 1987 and began practice at Mount Sinai Medical Center in Cleveland. When that hospital closed, I worked for the University Hospitals in Cleveland. After 30 years, I retired, moved to Indianapolis, and turned 69 on the same day, June 30th, 2017. It was intense. I am so glad that I got to do what I wanted to do. So when her cancer returned, she battled it as hard as she could. She had a lot of support from her family. She tried everything. She even tried some new things. And as it turned out, that nothing worked. And when she was told that nothing more could be done, her only comment was, I hope they learn something that will help someone else. So Kay was a lifelong learner, strong, focused type. She loved her family and friends very much. She set goals and was relentless in pursuing them. She was a beautiful person. I want to close by noting that as her younger brother, I was blessed to know and appreciate this exceptional woman. For a very long time. Those who didn't get to spend much time with her really missed something. Thank you.
My name is Charles Hanson. I had the great good fortune of meeting Kay in 2022 and spent the last couple of years with her. Many years ago, I discovered a poet named Merritt Malloy and found the following, which really sums up Kay and her philosophy of life. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother, walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands and letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. That was Kay.
Hi, I'm Kay's youngest daughter, Kim, and I wanted to thank everyone for being here today. You knew my mom perhaps as Dr. Tawney, Kay, or even Dr. K. I knew her as mother, mom, or even my good mommy. And no matter what she was called, her first instinct when called was to offer a warm smile and a desire to help. A million words would not be adequate to convey what she meant to me. So, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to keep it to a few hundred. Mom had a kind heart, a zest for life, and a passion for social issues and the environment. She was adventurous, loving, generous, so funny, and brilliant. I relied on her for advice, a shoulder to cry on, and inspiration when things got tough. In the good times, she was my biggest cheerleader and a trusted confidant. She was my best friend. One of the things I loved best about her was that I could always count on her to say something absolutely hilarious and unexpected that would leave me laughing for days. She was the first person I talked to each day and the last person I talked to each night. In between those phone calls, I was blessed with a daily barrage of texts and emails, as mentioned by John, that ranged from the mundane, just thinking of you messages to an absurd number of links to articles that she thought would be interesting and helpful. Sociologists call this pebbling after a practice where penguins give each other rocks to show affection. And Mom was a master at showing affection. All of our calls ended with, "I love you." And in one of our last conversations, she told me that she'd always loved holding me, and being held by me. If she loved you, Mom always made sure you knew it. Everyone should be so lucky to grow up with a mother like Tawney. When I posted on Facebook that she had passed, I was overwhelmed by the responses from my childhood friends who all remembered her fondly. They described her as sweet, admirable, lovely, so kind, engaged, and a gift to humanity. One person in particular wrote, "Your mom was amazing and let us be kids in every wonderful way. Her kindness helped me get through things growing up. I respected her greatly. She showed me I could do anything because I watched her work so hard. I'm a judge now." It's incredible and yet not at all surprising to me that she had such a positive impact on so many people's lives. From the care she delivered to her patients, to her role as a parent, as a friend to many of you, as a devoted daughter and sister, and a member of society as a whole, she was one of the good ones. She instilled in me the importance of hard work, loyalty, compassion, and just being a decent human through her daily actions. Even though she's gone, she still makes me want to be better every day. It was an honor to know her, and I am eternally grateful that she was my mommy.
Psalms 23, the divine shepherd, a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long.
Who's Robert? Y'all are making me cry over here. Once in a lullaby, I somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Ooh, someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, oh, where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. It's where you find me, a somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Then why, oh why can't
Our time in this space is coming to a close. In a moment, you will be invited into the reception area directly through the double doors at the back of the sanctuary. Please use that space to share stories and memories of Kay. The family hopes this space will be a celebration of the vibrancy of Kay's life. As you leave, there are pebbles for you to take with you in remembrance of Kay's pebbling and the love of those around her. I hope you will place this pebble somewhere for you to see and as a reminder of both Kay and to always show your love for those around you. As we prepare to leave this formal space of celebration and grieving, we do so grateful for the ways that Kay impacted our lives. As we part, I gift to you these words by Kenneth W. Collier. I do not know where we go when we die, and I do not know what the soul is or what death is or when or why. What I know is that the song once sung cannot be unsung, and the life once lived cannot be unlived, and the love once loved cannot be unloved. May we leave this space knowing the love that Kay gave us and spreading that love out into the world.